so glad you are here tonight, ready to set aside the weight of the day and let yourself be carried into a quieter world. This channel is your gentle carriage into dreams, a place where every story is told slowly, softly, and always with your rest in mind. If this is your first time visiting, I warmly invite you to press subscribe so that each evening you'll have a new story waiting for you, like a soft lamp glowing at dusk, guiding you into peace and sleep. Tonight's story will take us to a small bakery by the edge of a quiet lake. Imagine walking down a cobbled street as evening folds gently into night. The windows of the bakery glow with golden light, spilling warmth onto the pavement. The air is sweet with the scent of bread just out of the oven, of honey-glazed pastries cooling on the counter, and of cinnamon mingling with the faint smell of wood smoke from the hearth. A small bell above the door waits to greet you, ready to chime not as an alarm, but as a welcome. Inside, you'll find wooden shelves lined with loaves, jars of jam, and a counter where simple kindness is offered with every word. Beyond the glass, the lake reflects the moonlight, and the ripples of water carry whispers that promise rest. This is the bakery by the lake, a place where the evening slows, where bread, tea, and gentle company are enough to soothe the heart, and where, step by step, you will be guided into sleep. Before we step inside the little bakery, let us pause together, allowing the body to settle, allowing the breath to soften. Take a slow, deep inhale through your nose, cool air filling your lungs, gentle and steady. Hold it for a quiet moment, and then exhale softly, longer than the inhale, as if you were already placing down the weight of the day. Again, breathe in slowly, a little deeper this time, and then exhale, letting your shoulders sink lower, your chest loosen, your whole self beginning to yield. Now, bring your awareness to the crown of your head. Imagine a wave of calm flowing gently across your scalp, smoothing thought, easing away the chatter of the mind. That calm drifts down across your forehead, softening the space between your brows, quieting the muscles around your eyes. Your eyelids grow heavier, comfortable, as though preparing to close in their own time. Let your jaw unclench, lips part slightly, tongue rests loosely. The face becomes open, gentle. With your next breath, your shoulders release what they have carried, falling into ease. Your arms grow warm and heavy, resting safely by your sides. Your hands loosen, each finger an exhale of its own. Notice your chest, rising and falling in a rhythm steady as the turning of an old clock in a warm kitchen. Beneath it, your belly relaxes. No tension, only comfort. Let that ease flow downward into your hips, your thighs, your knees, and your calves. Each breath unties another knot of the day. Finally, your feet grow heavy and safe, anchored gently, as though the earth beneath them has promised to hold you. Around you, imagine the sounds of the evening gathering, the faint hush of a kettle beginning to warm, the distant lap of water against the shore of the lake, the hum of quiet conversation inside the bakery. Each detail is soft, patient, and unhurried, reminding you that rest is already here. You are safe, you are calm, you are ready to step into the golden glow of the bakery by the lake. The bell above the bakery door chimes as you step inside, not sharply but gently, as if it too has learned the rhythm of the evening. The warmth of the room embraces you instantly. Wooden shelves line the walls, filled with loaves of bread in every shape. Round sourdough with crackled crusts, long baguettes dusted in flour, and small honey rolls glistening faintly in the lamplight. A long counter stretches across the shop, polished smooth by years of hands resting upon it. Behind it, the baker moves quietly, his apron dusted with flour, his smile calm and unhurried. On a tray near the register, golden pastries still release their fragrance, cinnamon winding gently into the air, mingling with the deeper sweetness of honey and the faint hint of nutmeg. Beyond the shelves, a small table is set by the window. From there, you can see the lake outside, its surface reflecting the lanterns that line the street and the pale light of the rising moon. The water is so still that it seems to breathe only when the wind stirs, sending ripples across its mirrored face. The room itself is lit with shaded lamps, each one glowing softly like a firefly caught in glass. Dried flowers, lavender, chamomile, and sprigs of thyme hang from beams overhead, their fragrance subtle, their presence like old friends who never left. A few postcards are pinned to the wall behind the counter, sent from travelers who once visited this same place and carried its warmth with them into the world. At the back of the shop, a kettle begins to murmur on the stove. Its sound is low and steady, like a promise being made. The air grows a little richer with each passing second, wrapping you in comfort. The baker gestures toward the table by the window, inviting you to sit, to rest, to make this little shop your haven for the night. You take your seat by the window, and the wooden chair welcomes you with a soft creak, as though it has been waiting for you. The baker places a cup of chamomile tea before you, its steam rising in pale ribbons, carrying with it the scent of blossoms gathered long ago and kept safe for evenings just like this. Beside it rests a small plate with a honey pastry, its golden surface glistening faintly in the lamplight. You lift the cup, the porcelain warm in your hands. The first sip is gentle, a quiet meadow unfurling across your senses, floral and soothing, the kind of taste that reminds you of lullabies half remembered. The honey pastry breaks easily under your fork, its soft center releasing sweetness that lingers, not loud or heavy, but calm, like sunlight settling on your tongue. Outside the window, the lake breathes quietly. The moon, now risen higher, spills its silver path across the water. Two swans drift near the reeds, their reflections doubling their graceful forms. The ripples they leave behind expand in widening circles, each one fainter than the last, until the water returns to stillness. The baker moves softly around the shop, tidying shelves, humming under his breath. His presence is steady, unintrusive, as much a part of the place as the scent of flower in the air. A neighbor steps in briefly, collecting a loaf wrapped in brown paper, and the sound of their voices, warm, hushed, unhurried, fills the room with the comfort of belonging. You lean back in your chair, tea warming your hands, pastry softening in your mouth, and realize that nothing is required of you here. Not speech, not decision, not thought. Only to sit, to breathe, to be. The baker returns with another small plate, this time carrying a slice of bread still warm from the oven. He sets beside it a small dish of plum jam, dark and glistening, with a silver spoon resting neatly in its folds. "Try," he says softly, his words more suggestion than instruction. When you spread the jam across the bread, its sweetness mingles with the steam rising faintly from the loaf, and the first bite tastes like comfort preserved. A small bookshelf stands against the far wall, its spine softened by years of turning. You rise and browse slowly, fingers trailing over titles about herbs, travel journals with sketches tucked between the pages, and collections of poetry with lines underlined in faded ink. You choose one, its cover worn but steady, and return to your chair. When you open it, the words seem less like they are being read, and more like they are being remembered. The kettle murmurs again, and the baker refills your cup without asking. The chamomile grows richer as it steeps, golden threads curling upward in the steam. You sip, and the warmth sinks deeper into your body, traveling through your chest, loosening everything it touches. From the corner, you notice a cluster of candles, their flames bowing gently whenever the door shifts in the breeze. The air around them smells faintly of vanilla and clove, weaving its way into the sweeter scents of bread and honey. Dried lavender in a clay jar nearby adds another layer, the fragrance so soft it feels more like a memory than a smell. A clock on the wall ticks slowly, not counting time, but stretching it. Each moment grows long, tender, and unhurried. It feels as though the bakery has folded the night in half and given you only the quietest part. The baker finishes his tidying and slips into the back room, leaving you alone with the quiet. The only sounds are the gentle tick of the clock, the faint hiss of the kettle keeping itself warm, and beyond the window, the soft lap of the lake against its shore. The stillness is not empty. It is full, layered with the presence of bread cooling on the shelves, the fragrance of herbs above your head, the memory of voices fading into night. You turn another page of the book, but your eyes linger more on the view outside than on the words. The moonlight has deepened, silvering the water so brightly, it looks as though the lake has turned into a sheet of glass. The two swans drift further out, their silhouettes gliding effortlessly, their wings folded into perfect stillness. Tiny fish dart beneath the surface, sending up ripples that shimmer briefly before vanishing back into calm. A small wooden chair sits just outside the bakery door, angled toward the lake. For a moment, you imagine yourself sitting there, wrapped in a shawl cradling a mug of warm milk, sprinkled with nutmeg. The image is so vivid you can almost taste it. The milk rich and soothing, the spice rising in each breath you take. Inside, the candles bow lower, their flames shrinking into softer shapes. Their glow reaches across the shelves, touching the glass jars, the baskets, the folded cloths, as though saying goodnight to every object in the room. The dried lavender sways lightly from a current of air, its scent released once more, faint and calming. The bakery has become not just a shop, but a cocoon. Walls, shelves, and scents weaving themselves into a quilt of comfort. And within it, you feel less like a visitor and more like someone who has always belonged here. The baker returns quietly, carrying a tray with one last offering for the night. A small ceramic cup of warm milk, its surface dusted with nutmeg, and beside it, a thin slice of almond cake, golden and delicate. He places it before you with a big nod, no words needed. The gesture itself enough to say, "This is for comfort. This is for rest." You lift the cup and the milk tastes like warmth folded into liquid, gentle and familiar. The nutmeg adds its soft spice, a reminder of winter evenings and hearths glowing low. Each sip loosens you further, as though every muscle has found its reason to yield. The almond cake crumbles lightly beneath your fork, its sweetness subtle, almost whispered. It lingers just long enough to be noticed before dissolving like snow against your tongue. The baker begins to dim the lamps one by one. Each flame bows out with grace, leaving the room in layers of soft shadow. The clock ticks on, slower now, as though following your breath. The shelves stand like sentinels in the half-light, their jars and loaves at rest. Mr. Piers, the shop cat, who had slept unseen in a basket until now, stirs, stretches, and pads across the floor, tail flicking lazily before curling again into slumber. Through the window, the lake holds its calm. The swans have vanished into the dark, but their memory drifts still across the rippling silver. The stars above scatter more thickly now, reflected twice, once in the sky, once in the water, until it feels as though you are sitting at the center of a universe spun entirely from light and stillness. The baker thanks you softly for visiting, his words no more than a murmur. You realize he has not only given you bread and tea, but also a night cradled in gentleness. And as you rise to leave, the air seems to fold around you, as if reluctant to let go. You step outside, and the bell above the door gives one last chime, soft, lingering like a lullaby's final note. The air beyond the bakery is cool and still, carrying with it the faint sweetness of bread, the whisper of cinnamon, and the calm hush of the lake. A wooden bench waits near the water's edge. You sit, drawing your shawl across your shoulders, and watch the surface shimmer beneath the moon. Ripples move slowly outward, disappearing into the dark, as though the lake itself is exhaling. The street behind you is hushed, lanterns dimmed, windows shuttered, the whole village folding itself quietly into rest. You close your eyes for a moment, listening. The clock tower in the square chimes the hour, each note long and patient, echoing across the water. Between each chime is silence, so deep, so steady, that it feels like another kind of music. Somewhere nearby, the wings of a bird stir in the reeds, then fall still again. The warmth of the milk still lingers in your chest, the fragrance of nutmeg in your breath. The sweetness of bread and honey is softened into memory, one that comforts instead of fades. The shawl around you feels heavier now, not with burden, but with rest itself, as if sleep has woven itself into the fabric. The stars spread further overhead, the moon watching with quiet patience. Your breath slows, in and out, until it matches the rhythm of the lake against the shore. Thought drifts, loosens, disappears, like crumbs brushed from a table. The bakery, the lake, the village, the night, all hold you now, safe and still. And as the world exhales one final time, you are carried gently into sleep.